is functional components of a computer system. Okay, now before starting, what are the functional component of a computer system? In previous session we learned that computer system works based on the IPO format. That is, it's going to take the input, then it process the data, then it will provide the output. Okay, so basically any computer is supposed to carry the following functions. So now we'll see what are all the functions that you have to concentrate while dealing with a computer system. First, it's going to accept the data and program as an input. Okay, so secondly, it's going to store the program and data, and it will retrieve the data when it is necessary, right? So after storing of the data and information, it's going to process the data as per the requirement of the user, and that works according to the program, right? Then it's going to process the useful information. After that, it communicates the information as a output. Okay, so first it's initially going to accept the input from the users, then the data will be stored in some memory unit, then data needs to be processed, that must be converted into input data to the information. Okay, after that it has to displace the data, or it has to communicate the information as a output. Okay, now we'll see what are the functional component of a computer system. So basically computer is designed using four basic units. They are input unit, central processing unit, memory unit and output unit. Okay. So this central processing unit or CPU consists of another three subcomponents, that is control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, then registers. Okay. Now we'll see our component one by one. So the first basic component or basic functional component is input unit. Okay, so this input unit comprises of one or more input devices. For example, if we consider computer as a system, then it includes both keyboard and mouse. Okay, both keyboard and mouse are considered as what? Input unit. Okay, so that input unit is nothing but it's a collection or combination of one or more input devices. Okay, then it going to accepts the data as an input from the user. So data can be anything. It can be either text, image, audio, video, or in any other forms. Okay, so input unit is nothing but it's going to receive the data and instruction in order to solve a problem. Okay, so that this unit input unit perform this operation. So it basically links the external world to the computer system. External or environment is nothing but what? That is a user data. Then it's going to communicate the user data into the computer system. So data can be anything. It can be either text, image, audio or video. Okay, that data will be stored in the memory. Before processing of the data, that data will be stored in the memory. Okay, and there is a communication between central processing unit and memory. Okay, now we'll see a one central processing unit. So CPU is nothing but central processing unit, and this comprises of another three subunits, that is arithmetic and logic unit, control unit, registers. Okay, so what is ALU here? It is arithmetic and logical unit. So before starting arithmetic and logic unit, central processing unit is considered as what? Heart or brain of the computer system. Why? Because it controls and coordinates most of the work of computer system. That's why CPU is known as heart and brain of the computer system. Okay, and this comprises of these three subunits. Now we'll see what is ALU. So as the name indicates, ALU is nothing but arithmetic and logical unit. So what are all the arithmetic operations? So that includes additions, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, and that also includes the modulus. So what is the difference between division and modulus? So division returns the value of quotient and modulus returns the value of remainder. That you have to keep it in mind. Okay. So arithmetic and logical unit is going to perform both arithmetic operations as well as the logical operations. Okay, so the logical operations include AND operations, OR operations and NOT operations. Okay, so in later sessions you are going to learn about these logical functions. And relational function includes greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, is equal to. Okay, so in further session you are going to learn about these things. Now we'll see what is ALU and logical units. So it mainly used to perform the arithmetic and logical functions. Okay, so then it's going to control the speed of these calculations. So what is control unit here? So you have to consider these directions. So this is bidirectional, so that data can be exchanged between these two devices. Okay. So CU is nothing but it is a control unit. So this control units controls and direct the transfer of program instructions and data between the various units. So it acts as a head of the CPU. Then it's going to control and coordinate all other component of the computer system. Okay. So the main activity is to maintain the order and direct operation of the entire system, so that it acts as a control one. Then its main activity is to maintain the order. So now I want to add 2 plus 3 is nothing but, then it's going to control the order in the sense it will take the input 2 as a first and then addition operation as a second thing, then it's going to add the another value 3. Okay, so control unit is mainly used to maintain the order and direct the operations of the entire system. Okay, so then why these registers? So registers are mainly used to store the intermediate data. For example, now I want to add 2 and 3. Okay, then that 2 and 3 will be stored in this registers before processing. After completion of 2 and 3 addition, then that will be stored in the memory. Okay, so CPU is nothing but it is a central processing unit. It comprises of another 3 subunits, that is ALU, CU and registers. Arithmetic and logical unit is used to perform the arithmetical and logical operation, and it's going to control the speed of these operation. Then control unit is mainly used to controls and coordinate the various component of the computer system. Okay, then it's going to maintain the order and direct the operations of the entire system. Okay, registers are used to store the intermediate data. Okay, so now we'll see our next component of the computer system, that is memory. Okay, memory comprises of main memory and secondary memory. Okay, so what is this main memory and secondary memory? So main memory is nothing but it is a primary memory. Okay, so that primary memory is used to store the data temporarily. So when you want to store the data temporarily, then you have to use main memory. Okay, so mainly memory is used to store the data and information which is need to be retained for the long time. Okay, so in this similar manner, results are generated from the processing have to be pursued before it's going to display. So after processing of the data, then some data has to be stored in memory, that needs to be retained in some memory before going to display the data. Okay, so the memory unit provides space to store the input data and intermediate results and final output generated. Okay, so now we'll see what is main memory and secondary memory. So the main memory is nothing but it is mainly used to store the data temporarily. Okay, so this includes RAM, that is random access memory. So secondary memory is used to store the additional memory. It is also known as additional memory, that is used to store the data permanently. Okay, so this includes the devices like floppy disk, CD, that is compact disk, and DVD, that is digital versatile disk. So when you want to store the data permanently, then we have to use the secondary memory. When you want to store the data primarily, or temporarily, then we have to use the main memory or primary memory. Okay, after processing of all the data, then we need to store the data in memory. After that, we have to display the data and information by using output unit. Okay, output unit is nothing but it is a combination of output devices. Okay, it may include printers, monitors, speakers, etc. Okay, so here data is after the processing of the data is converted into what? Information. Okay, so information is nothing but it is a fruitful data that may be useful for the further task. Okay, so this output unit is nothing but it is a collection of one or more devices, one or more output devices. Okay, so it is used to print or display the result which is stored in the memory unit. First we have to take the input, then the data has to be processed here. After that, the data will be moved back to the memory. Then that data will be displayed by using the input unit. Okay, so the actual function of the output unit is to just the reverse of this input unit. Okay, so this links the computer system to the environment, outward environment or the outside world. Outside world is nothing but number of users or the outside environment, so that it's going to display the information to the output world. So this output unit comprises of some of the output devices like printer, speakers, monitor, etc. Okay, so this is regarding the functional component of a computer system. So initially it's going to take the data as an input, then it's process the data using these three sub units of the central processing unit. Then it's going to store the data in the memory. So if you want to store the data temporarily, then we have to use main memory. If you want to store the data permanently, then we have to go with this secondary memory. After storing of the data, then processed information should be displayed by using one or more output unit. Okay, so example for input unit is keyboard, mouse, and output unit is printer and monitor. Okay, so this is regarding the functional component of the computer system.